I'm not a born Adventist. I was able to become a Seventh-day Adventist, not because someone invited me in the church, not because of something else, but probably because I met one of these peculiar people. He looks ordinary, but his character is special. I don't even know what a Seventh-day Adventist or Sabbatista they call it in our country. But you know what? He's so special that even my professor looks at him something special. So my sermon is title is The Peculiar People. First of all, I want to define what is peculiar. It says in the definition that peculiar is different to what is normal or expected, strange, particular, or special. So, do you know that here in Scotland, not here, I'm in England, but in Scotland, which is part of UK, we have this what they call the Library of Mistakes. So, if you happen to visit Scotland, you might go in there and you will find all the mistakes that they've made. Uh, I think it should be financially. Peculiar is something different. Some of the peculiar places, just to give you an idea of what is peculiar, these are some of the peculiar places uh, on our planet Earth. So I would like to start here in UK. This is what they call the Giant Causeway in Northern Ireland. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite special. This is the Giant Causeway in Northern Ireland. This is a huge volcanic eruption spewed out of a mass molten basalt, which then solidified and contracted as it cooled, creating the cracks that can be seen today. There are an estimated 37,000 polygon columns at this World Heritage Site, so geometrically perfect that local legend has it they were created by a giant, hence the name. It's a firm contender for one of the weirdest places on Earth. So if you happen to visit Northern Ireland, visit this place where you can find the giant causeway. The next is found in Turkey, in Pamukkale, Turkey. I don't know if I pronounce it right. But this is a remarkable UNESCO World Heritage Site in southwest Turkey. A visit to Pamukkale also takes in the ancient ruins of Hierapolis, the once great city that was built around it. Water cascades from natural springs and down the white travertine terraces and forms stunning thermal pools, perfect for quick dip. They call this the Cotton Castle. So if you happen to visit Turkey, this is a place that you can go. Next, we go to Australia, and this is the Lake Hillier in Western Australia. This remarkable lake is on the largest of the islands in Western Australia's Recherche archipelago. The lake keeps its deep pink color year-round, which some scientists say is down to high salinity, combined with the presence of salt-loving algae species known as Dunaliella salina and pink bacteria known as halobacteria. The next is found in Iran. They call it Badav Esert. This beautiful travertine terrace in northern Iran are an incredible natural phenomenon. Travertine is a type of limestone formed the calcium deposits in flowing water, and in this case it's two hot springs with different mineral properties. The unusual reddish color of the terraces is caused by the high content of iron oxide in one of the springs. Of course, we have also one in the Philippines which we call the Chocolate Hills. This boasts 1,700 odd conical hills that middle of the island in the Philippines. They range in height but are so regular in shape that they could be mistaken for being man-made. However, according to UNESCO, they are the uplift of coral deposit and a result of rainwater erosion. The hills only earn their chocolate nickname in the dry season when the foliage goes from lush green to brown. Next is the Red Beach found in China. Very cool and very weird, this beach is covered in a type of seaweed called sueda, which turns bright red in autumn, 30 kilometers southwest of Panjin in China. These vital wetlands are an important nature reserve for migrating birds. Only a small section of the beach is open to the public, but it can be explored via a wooden walkway that stretches out to the sea. And last but not the least is the Cat Island in Japan. One of the weirdest places on earth has to be the Japanese Cat Island. A short ferry ride from Japan's east coast, Tashirojima has a population of 100 humans who are vastly outnumbered by their furry friends. Originally, the cats were encouraged since the island produced silk, and mice are natural predator of silkworm. Local fishermen regarded them as good luck. The island even has a cat shrine, along with newly built cat-shaped cabins for tourists to stay in. It goes without saying that there are no dogs allowed. So those are the weirdest. We can now understand what the meaning of peculiar. The common denominator of peculiar is attraction. Once we see those places, once we see those people, we are attracted to them. We see something different. They are special. And according to our readings, it says in 1 Peter 2, verse 9, "But ye are chosen generation, a royal priesthood, an holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." God's original plan for Israel is that they will be a peculiar people for the world to see. God's plan for a spiritual Israel is that we will be a peculiar people for the world to see. I am I don't know if Sister Lil can remember that I'm not a born Adventist. After I graduated from college from Mapua Institute of Technology, I was able to become a Seventh-day Adventist. Not because someone invited me in the church, not because of something else, but probably because I met one of these peculiar people, which is our church. During my college life, I happened to have one Seventh-day Adventist classmate. He looks ordinary, but his character is special. I remember he became one of my closest friends, and I remember him um, talking to us on our circle of friends, talking to us in parables. I don't know why, but I haven't been reading Bible before. So I was like, I I don't even know what a Seventh Day Adventist or Sabbatista they called in our country. But you know what? He's so special that even my professor um, is looks at him something special. The professor always um, call him and ask for his help. You know, like just carrying those stuffs. So our professor is not what you call it. It's not a regular professor because he was an executive assistant. So me and my friends, we branded him and we give him a title, and we say we call you today assistant to the executive assistant, just to annoy him. But he was special. He was peculiar on the sense that I don't understand him because there were time when we will have our final examinations, and in our college, if you are taking the final examination, it means make or break. You either fail or you can fail. You can fail. So it happens that the examination falls on a Saturday. Then he said, I think I will not take the final exam. He told us. And I said, are you mad? You will surely fail if you don't take the final exam. But he said, no, because I go to church. And I said, what? One day? I said, you can leave this day and then you can carry on the rest of the year. But he said, it doesn't work like that. So I don't understand. So I won't be able to understand his logic. But to make the story short, he didn't take the examination while unfortunately, I'm there. And you know what? before the final exam, the professor announced that these persons are exempted to take the final exam because their grades is that good that even if they fail the exam, they are now they can I mean their grades is will take them even if they fail the exams. And his name is one of them. I said, wow, what's with this man? Now remember him when we were eating. He had some kind of weird diet, and I asked him about the diet. He said it's in the Bible, and asked him where in the Bible. He said you had to read it if you want to find. I said if you just tell me, then I will read it. Then he told me another parable that I think I believe he just make the bar parable so that I should read the Bible. But I understand his logic now. When we have a chance to visit their home, I'm telling you, it was so peaceful. When I met his sisters, his cousins, the ladies, I'm telling you, they were so beautiful inside. So there's something special about these people, I said. So that when the time comes, when the message come to me, I did understand. Not because I'm I was not converted because I knew about the Sabbath. I knew about the diet. I knew about the 28 fundamental beliefs. I was convinced because I saw one peculiar person. I saw one. Our family, I am so, as of until now, I'm the only Adventist in our family. And our family is a close Catholic family. I remember when I was still a child, we always we have this. I don't know if you know that Catholics prayed every 6 o'clock the Rosary. It's boring to me, but we should be there. But yeah, so what I mean is we are very close Catholic family. That if I heard this message about the Seventh-day Adventist without knowing one Adventist, I would surely would brush aside these doctrines. But since I know somebody who stand firm during his trial, who stand firm in his faith during those times which I might say, if he failed to do that, then I won't probably be joining the church because I would remember, oh, my classmate is an Adventist. This is a religion, but he doesn't care. So why would I care to come in? But he stand firm in his faith. I saw a peculiar person and I have embraced the church. In Colossians 3:12 it says, therefore as God chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Mrs. White says in her Testimonies for the Church, Volume 9, page 189, if we would humble ourselves before God and be kind and courteous and tender hearted and pitiful, there would be 100 conversions to the truth, where now there is only one. Another peculiar thing about us, the Seventh Day Adventists, I hope uh, we're all the same, is that we clothe ourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, and gentleness and patience. By the way, I enjoyed our Sabbath school, the discussion, questions. I was so blessed. And our presenter was saying, like, when you're driving and somebody beep, you might sometimes lose your control. But if you have been gentle, if you have kindness, those who are around you will see you as different. They will see something in you. That's why Mrs. White said, if we have been tender-hearted, pitiful, and we are kind, courteous, there would be 100 conversions to the truth, where now there is only one. I was reading the discipleship handbook, and I was reading about, because it was handed to me, and I was reading about preparing the soil. How to prepare the soil when we sow the seed of the seed of truth. And one of them is Christ's method. It says, Christ's method alone will give us true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingled with people as one who desired their good. He showed sympathy for them, ministered to their needs, and won their confidence. Then he invited them, follow me. Again, I will repeat, as one who desired their good. And he showed sympathy for them and ministered their need. That's why I was so touched uh, with your mission to cater the needs of those who are marginalized, who cannot go to church. Then that's the time we have to invite them, follow me. In our church, we have there was one person who was passing our church, and then he said he heard the singing. Actually, he said, because here in UK, they they can't differentiate Filipinos from Chinese, Malaysian, Indonesians. So he said, I heard some Chinese singing, so I went in. He he took a look, and I invited him inside the church, and he has been worshiping with us ever since. Now the problem is, I said, the problem is he come a bit late, And then when we have our lunch, he will go home. So I was thinking to myself, how can we minister to this person? He's an old man. And he said he was involved in drugs. I think he was a drug lord before. He said he drive BMWs, he have a great car, great money, but now he's poor. So I said, how can I minister to this person? So what I do is every lunch I see to it because he sits alone. I see to it that I sit beside him or in front of him and join him in a dinner, hoping to have a conversation of, yeah, about the Bible, something like that. But it took me many years and still haven't find the time because after eating he will go. I was hoping if I can only have 5 minutes or something to share our Lord Jesus Christ. But then again, it happens every time. So I was brainstorming what can do until this care group, the conference has trying to uh, apply to all the churches. So we tried one, and uh, the method is simple. We have, first of all, he said, our pastor, our personal ministry said, you must you must not have a string attached, because sometimes we think of doing this and hoping that he will end up here. The pastor said, actually, it's a Filipino pastor, our personal ministry in our conference. He said, all we have to do is to be kind to them, have some dinner, invite them to eat, talk about life, and nothing else. Just be kind to them. Just show what are we. Show them that this is us. Show them that we care about their troubles, about their problems. And so we've done that. We we invite a few friends, and then this man is now, after after we eat, then we have time for a study in the Bible. We started with the parables, and we will go on from there. But the thing is, we need to show them that we are different, that we are kind, that we are tender hearted, that we care for them, and we desire their goods. It says that we need to come close to the people by personal effort. If we would give less time to sermonizing and more time to personal ministry, greater result would be seen. The poor are to be relieved, the sick cared for, the sorrowing and the bereaved comforted, the ignorant instructed, the inexperienced counseled. We are to weep with those who weep and to rejoice with those who rejoice, accompanied by the power of persuasion, the power of prayer, the power of the love of God. This work will not and cannot be without fruit. Remember, dear brothers and sisters, this is who we are. This is what I know about the church, which is we. We're supposed to be kind hearted. We cared for the people. Finally, it says in John 13, verse 35, by this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. I was surprised that it says, if we love one another. I thought it, it doesn't say about if we are Sabbath keeper, if we keep the diet, but it says if you love one another. Now, before I end, I just want us to go to the story of Ruth. To be honest, I was so impressed by the character of Naomi, Ruth's mother-in-law. I was so impressed with her character that I said this should be something else. You know why? When Naomi's husband died, her two sons died, all was left was her two daughter-in-law. Thinking of the circumferences, the two daughter-in-laws, when they lost their husband, they should go back to where? Of course, they will go back to their family, their father, mother, or find another husband. But I was so impressed with Naomi that these two daughter-in-law doesn't want to be separated from her. And I was saying, why? There's something, I said to myself, there's something about Naomi that these two daughter-in-law was so attached to her. What's with Naomi? Because these are the Moabites. Naomi is Israelites. So Naomi was trying to push them away back to their own families that they belong. He was successful with the one, but with Ruth, in verse 8, Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, go back each of you to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown kindness to your dead husband and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband. Then she kissed them goodbye, and they wept aloud and said to her, we will go back with you to your people. To me, Naomi has showed her character to her daughter-in-laws. To me, Naomi was a very kind mother-in-law. To me, Naomi is a very peculiar person, a special that these two daughters-in-law was attracted and was attached to her. If Naomi was not that kind of person, surely these two daughter-in-laws have been long gone on their family home. And listen to what Ruth said. But Ruth replied, don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. I think this is the very word I said when I was baptized to the seventh day. When I've learned about, when I've seen, it is because Ruth has seen a peculiar person. My dear brothers and sisters, every day we go out, every day we meet people, we go to school or we go to work or we walk on the street. These people, some of them are broken, or probably most of them are broken. My challenge to you, dear brother and sister, is will you be that peculiar people to these seekers of the truth? They won't embrace the truth unless they found one. They're not going to join the church just because they learned the truth, but because they saw the truth in you. May God bless us all.